Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Brock and Michelle.
or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or how about we go with Idris Elba and his new wife? You know who his new wife name is, Neil?
No, I was trying to find it out.
What? They just got engaged. Sabrina, I don't want to mess this up. Dahaway?
Childress and Sabrina.
Congratulations to them.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that in the news. You know, Idris been sneaking. Y'all thought for some reason he was going to marry K. Michelle or somebody else. I don't know what y'all thought was going on. That was just fun. It was just dating. But now he done married this new girl. And the rumor is that she's 16 years his junior.
Okay.
So, you know, I love that that age difference, love, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Just shout out to them. And he was always, I think, in the community, we always put him as always a bachelor. You know, you with the white guy, they did that too.
George Clooney?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why white people was obsessed with him getting married. I mean, he finally got married. He done got married to, first of all, he got married to this smart ass woman, and they having twins. And they're both seasoned in age to be having twins. Thanks for the goodness of medicine on that one.
Well, it's just been married twice already before.
I know, but you know, people constantly keep him single.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, some people get divorced. You be like, oh, they divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be sad about it. But I feel like he can't get divorced. He'll be like, oh, he's back on the market.
Oh, yeah, he back on the market.
I'd be like, what in the world? So just shout out to them. Oh, you know, sad news. I know this is just the intro. You hear who getting a divorce?
The Martins?
The Martins. 20 plus years. Tisha Martin and Dwayne Martin.
Yeah.
Tisha got stuff going on, though. And I'm never one to jump to the woman, but if anyone's seen her Instagram or just the shenanigans she's been doing lately.
I don't know if that's basis for getting a divorce.
My fruit point I'm trying to prove is, again, I'm not in a relationship. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's mutual. I don't know. But if this is what she show us, imagine what happens when she showed a person she's been with 20, 30 years.
Right.
So if she shows us this on Instagram, these videos, the YouTube, this is what she shows us. I can only imagine the shit she cutting up at home doing.
Okay. So when Michael B. Jordan and Lupita getting together?
Oh, you think that's a couple?
That's soon to be a couple. I don't know.
Or the way Chadwick, you know, they might just be good actors. The way he kept looking at her in Black Panther. Hell, the way I kept looking at Lupita.
Okay.
I think it's just her, right? She got a smell of shea butter and coconut oil, and you just want to lick her skin. Like Desi, whenever I put on coconut oil, Desi want to lick my skin. He like, bitch, you smell like dessert. You taste like dessert.
You a snack.
Literally, you a snack.
You be putting on that coconut
oil, and here come Desi. Anyway, who's you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 108, y'all.
Episode 108. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, niggas.
Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, I hope y'all did. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. Follow us on all forms of social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K. You gotta check in?
Of course.
What's going on?
It was a rough weekend for me, y'all. First of all, I was supposed to be off for 2 days. I was supposed to be off Saturday and Sunday, but I ended up having to work on Sunday because I had to get my schedule switched around for later in the week. So I only was off Saturday. And it didn't even feel like I was off one day. Mm-hmm. Like, you ever just be like, shit, I'm just constantly going and I ain't for the bullshit. Not only that, when I was off on Sunday, mind you, I closed on, so they talking about, well, can you come open too? So you want me to work open and close on Sunday?
Yep.
No, on my off weekend?
Yep.
No. So it was just a lot of that. But you know, the sad part of the weekend, Desi got to go, y'all. He did it. He solidified his future with his Saturday night shenanigans. We thought we were being sweet. We were going to trainers. He was allegedly listening. Nero, thoughts?
Somewhat.
Better than what he was.
Yep.
We were buying him treats. He was getting on a good routine. He was doing what he was supposed to do, right? To the point where I was even at the market, and in the deli section, they was selling like little pieces of ham, the end pieces of the ham chopped up for like $1. And who I buy it for?
Desi.
I said, oh, Desi like him a little piece of ham for his treats. But he just started being disrespectful as fuck on Saturday.
What'd he do?
He just, after a great day of cuddling, good long walks, training, good food, cuddles, about 8, 9 o'clock. I said, oh, he ain't had his teething treat. Let me give him his teething treat. Here you go. Mm-hmm. I'm drinking a glass of wine. I set the glass of wine on the table, and what does he do?
Pee.
I'm not there yet, Nero.
Oh.
But thank you for giving away the surprise.
Okay.
remember when he ran towards the door when he thought the door was knocking?
Oh, yeah.
So I set the wine glass down and he thought it was someone knocking at the door.
Oh, yeah, that nigga went pitbull.
What was it? It was like this. It was like, and he lost his pure ass.
You would have thought somebody was breaking in the house.
And it literally was a click. And I was like, just stop it. Let him do it. And after that, then he looking all skittish and scary. I said, let him give him this little teething toy. Here you go. Here's your toothbrush. It's your favorite. Go get it. Go hide. Do what you got to do. 30 minutes later. First of all, Niram keep looking like he's paranoid in his own house. So I'm not getting good, comfortable sleep. I'm not being comfortable because Niram always looking around. Niram, what the fuck you be looking around for?
Whenever that dog is loose, I just can't. It's like a kid.
Yeah.
It's like having a 4-year-old. Whenever it's quiet in the house,
or he ain't around us,
he getting into some shit. And so I was looking around like, where this nigga at? Because it's a little too quiet around here.
Yeah.
And this nigga ain't trying to get a pet or a cuddle with something in.
He ain't trying to get on the couch.
Nothing.
Ain't trying to get on the ottoman. Ain't trying to get snacks. Oh, there you go.
There you go, Birkin.
And so that Niram, with his amazing hearing, he was like, he peeing. I said, no, he's not. I look up on my good furniture. He peed on the leg of the chair. God. And not marked territory pee, a good long ass pee.
Oh.
And we telling him to stop, no, move.
I wish I had a house shooter through at that nigga.
We literally need a house shooter throw at him, and he looking disrespectful. That was the last straw. And we done took him out 5 times today. Took him for a good 1.5 mile walk. And you gonna piss in the house after a good day? So what you gonna do on a bad day? I was hot.
No, your view was hot.
It was like, it's like I can't. He just pee for no reason. I can't leave the house. It's just too much. What you thought of that, Niram? And Niram was like, take him out. I said, shit, he done pissed. Put his ass in the cage. He done for the night. He took his nighttime pee. What? Why are you quiet, Niram?
He mad disrespectful.
What?
The dog, I keep going back to this. Like, A, the dog is mad disrespectful. B, the dog is Otis' fault. Well, it's not Otis' fault. It's 4. So, but it's set in his ways. It's like
oh, I got a fucking surprise for him too.
30 in dog years or whatever.
I'm 32.
One of the things, I was like, nigga, why you always hearing the dog pee? Like
I don't hear nothing.
I always catch the dog peeing.
I never hear him pee.
I'm like, Naim, you don't hear that nigga peeing?
I was like, no. Niram, mind you, Niram can't smell nothing, can't see nothing, but he can hear it. Jesus.
Hey, that's must be my superpowers.
It gotta be. So he gotta go back. So this week I think I'm finally biting the bullet and saying thank you, but no thank you. And you know these adoption hours always during the times I'm working. I'm leaving. I'm not even gonna call. I'm gonna send an email and I'm gonna leave a voicemail and be like, Niram gonna be dropping them through there.
So long, Desi.
I can't do it anymore.
You know what? And I think this is the thing that
it pissed me off though. I'm sad and I'm pissed about it.
Well, you know, baby, and I know you don't want to do this, but I would say take it as a learning experience. It is. You never had a dog.
I've been learning so fucking much
I know.
in the last year.
You never had a dog before in your life. You know, we dog sitted dog, so you thought it was going to go like that. And
the ones we dog sitted were better.
They still pissed and shit in the house, too.
Not like this. Not like this.
They still pissed and shit in the house, too.
Not like this.
But it is something about, you know, discipline and your life, the way your life is and how your life is scheduled or structured, that, you know, one of the things is I just don't think a dog or a pet fits in there right now unless it's something that's very moldable and trainable to us. And like Desi, even though he's 4 and you would think that's young age, like this nigga is not as moldable as you think he would be.
So
and
you think he know what the fuck he doing?
Yes. I think, and that's the thing, like...
Why is he angry, though? Don't you piss when you're angry?
No.
Oh,
I don't know. But the thing is this, like, dog training, like, if you got a puppy, it's a little bit easier to train and mold a puppy versus an older dog. Because, A, they forget the shit. But, B, you know, they be in their own little world.
Old dogs.
Yeah, older dogs. So, you know, you got that, and it's like, you know, I just don't know if we got 6 months to a year to try to train and break this nigga out of these habits in order to make this nigga the right dog for us. Mm-hmm. And I just personally think that Desi wasn't the right dog for us. Yes, he's cute and, you know, a little cute dog and everybody like him, but for like his personality and his behaviors and our and our schedules and things like that. So it just wasn't a good fit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like that I'm also battling with like wanting something so bad and challenging myself to say, did I not put in the work necessary to it, right? People, what's the old sermon? You want a dog, but you don't want to walk the dog. You know what I'm saying? You want to do this, but you want to lose weight, but you don't want to get on the treadmill. Like, I really battle with like, am I not putting in the work necessary for this dog to be successful? And then also I was thinking on the flip side, is it a placeholder for something else? What is this placeholder for? And what was I trying to fill the void of? And what is Desi a mirror of me, right? Like, what is, like you said, I'm supposed to learn from this, right? So what is this experience mirroring in my life, right? So it ain't as explicit as you don't need a dog in your life, but what does it really mean, right? What is this reoccurring theme that I'm supposed to learn and I'm still not learning? And I think that's the frustrating piece. I think it goes back to this idea of lack of discipline. I always thought I was a very disciplined person. And I think I am in certain aspects. So, I think I'm having a little bit of lead working through this idea of lack of discipline. And due to lack of discipline, is this why this is happening? Or the metaphor that I can't take nobody else pissing on me. Literally, figuratively, spiritually, emotionally. And when that dog lifted his lid, not today, Satan.
Well, I have a couple of thoughts.
Nero got thoughts.
I do.
What is that?
Well, I think about when people are going through some things and they just looking for something to hold on to or have some type of meaning. Like we have had a rough year, and you really wanted something that had some type of meaningfulness in your life. And as much as people tell you to go find a hobby and find things that bring you joy other than work, you try to replace it with, oh, Niram, let's have a baby, and then it was like, oh, Niram, let's have a dog.
Stop doing that.
But I'm serious though. Like all jokes aside, like all me saying that we need to talk about this.
Trying to get receipts, so when we're trying to have this baby conversation.
All jokes aside, let's talk about 6 months. But I really think that you being like, I want a baby or I want a dog during this period of time in your life, and a point where life is kind of shitty. Yeah. You feel like you don't have nothing or meaning in life. You at this box store and you feel like you got enough credits to get this PhD. You got going all this other stuff. We both lost our jobs on the same day.
Nero.
I'm just saying, like, but it's a lot of
anniversary coming out over that.
It is. Yeah. But it's a lot of that stuff that's going on that you just wanted something to hold on to make you feel better. And while you thought the dog was going to do it, it didn't do it. It didn't serve its purpose.
He is just a fuck dog.
And I don't even think he's a fuck dog. I just think right now in the time and the place that we're at, that dog wasn't for us. If we was at a different place, if it was before that time, he may have fit. But like right now in the time of, tumultuous times, where you understanding or finding out the people who you think are friends are not your really friends, and all this other stuff, is that I just don't think the dog or, having a baby or something like, those type of things are the things that you need in your life versus actually putting in the work into yourself. And the thing is, it's hard to put in the work into yourself because when things get quiet, that's when the voices of hurt, shame, defeat, and negative energy and despair start to creep up. And that's the thing is, you don't want to hear those voices. You don't want to deal with them, but you rather do other things to try to prevent those other than working through that issue that you're going through. Yeah. And I think that's the problem, is that this dog was supposed to fulfill something that it's not going to fulfill. Yeah. Just like these chicks go out there and have these babies with these niggas.
Woo! Don't do that.
No, I'm serious.
Don't do that.
They go out there and have these babies with these niggas, even though they got daddy issues.
Or be in relationships.
And they trying to fulfill that void that they daddy left them with. Mm-hmm. So they go sleep with these niggas, and next thing you know, they got these babies by these ain't shit ass niggas. That just fulfilled that void with dick and cum. Oh my God. So I that's what I really think. And like, it might not be, motherfuckers might come at me and be like, oh, he Monique in the whole situation. And I'm like, I don't like,
leave Monique alone.
What Nero might be saying is real, but I don't like the way he's saying it. But I really think it's the truth, is that you are going through some stuff right now. We are going through some stuff. And rather than putting the time to journal, to practice like real self-care and go through it, you try to find these minor solutions. Yeah. to fulfill, to help with that void. And the thing is, getting Desi or that dog did not fill that void. It actually created a bigger one, and it showed that
Jesus,
that there's still some underlying issues that is going on. Yeah.
Well, all right, Von Zant.
Do the work, beloved.
Do the work, beloved. See, you don't read 21 Days of Forgiveness. And now you trying to read everybody for filth. But y'all, I got to just be transparent on what's going on. I can't come over here and lie. So that's what's going on. And then my bot store. What the hell is going on with the bot store? Y'all know my cart attendants, they ain't the sharpest tools in the shed, right? So we dealing with folks that's on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Meaning anywhere from high functioning, drive, license, right? Do that whole thing to like they got to get dropped off by the friends of the neighborhood bus. So we know. I just want y'all to know the type of caliber of niggas we working with.
Right.
And when you're working with a certain type of caliber of niggas, they come late or they don't do what they supposed to do. As the cart attendant, they should bring carts in, but instead they bring in you dog food.
What?
Like if they just find stuff around the store, they supposed to bring it to guest service. So, and that's fine. You do that once the carts are in. But if there's no carts, what you're going to have to do is, bring in the damn carts. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they ain't bringing in the damn carts. And so they like, Nyambi, go ahead and we want you to have a conversation with them and let them know that they got to bring in the carts and they can't be late. Excuse me? What type of conversation I'm going to have? First of all, I'm not equipped. I don't have the licensure to have the type of fucking conversation that they need to have when they need to have it. Like these folks, the conversations they need work coaches. They need counselors. They need physicians. Like what the fuck do they expect me type of conversation they expect me to do? Right? Like besides me saying, you're supposed to come on time. You're supposed to bring in the carts. What do they really expect me to do, Nero?
Fire them.
They ain't gonna fire them.
Fire them.
They're not, but that's the thing. They're not even willing to do that because I think sometimes, no matter where you're on the spectrum, you had little mental issues or not, it did get to a point where you got to have a conversation about being fired sometimes, right? But of course, you give the chances, you can go through the process. But we bringing these folks in and we're not equipping them with the resources that need to be successful. Talking about have a conversation with them. Do I look like an educational psychologist?
Nope.
Do I look like a job coach to work with the folks with some mental inabilities?
Nope.
That's what the fuck we need. Am I crazy?
No.
I'm not have a conversation. Shit, I'm not equipped. I'm not licensed. Actually, no one in this store is.
No.
Is that petty? How do you do that?
It's not petty, but...
And then they looking at me when I be like, well, they ain't got the carts in. It's busy. I can't bring none in. So I guess we don't got no fucking carts. What do y'all want me to do?
But also it goes back to what they think really is important. Yeah. And they don't think that shit is important, even though they willing. It's versus what they saying versus their actions.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Nyambi, where the carts at?
And me, outside? I get stupid like them. Outside.
Where the carts at?
We got a cart in it? Yeah. Where you go? I've been calling them.
So, and that's the thing. Like, at this point in the game.
And I'm not weighing in no much. But, you just got to be like, what the... Like, you almost want to have people like, can we just sit down? Like, are y'all just doing this to be symbolic? What?
Yes. Like, you think about it. Your store is went $2 million over budget?
Yeah.
Or
not over budget, but
y'all made 200
surplus.
Yeah, $2 million over surplus.
Yeah.
Over.
I can imagine how many millions we made then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, in addition to being understaffed and all this other stuff, and they complained about 100 hours being over.
Overtime. Yeah.
It don't make sense. And it really shows that, well, if we can do this based off this, well, let's try to
push them a little.
Trim the fucking fat to get y'all niggas to work more. Yeah. So I think that's more or less what it is. It's like, well, you just got to do what we tell y'all to do because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But I just have moments. But I think I fight the Nyambi clapback. Yeah. They be like, this is...
And I think that's
stupid.
Yeah. And
stop
that's
asking
the
me
thing.
Stupid ass questions.
And that's the thing, Nyambi. I think that, you are too competent, and it's not a bad thing, but let's call a spade a spade. You competent as fuck. Niggas got PhDs, niggas got motherfucking degrees.
Like I almost had to check somebody. Like my other team member was like, because she was like, Nyambi, I think I'm going to see if I can work here and get more leadership position instead of go to grad school. I said,
no.
I said, your goal is to be at bot store forever?
Forever.
Ever?
Forever.
And mind you, it is opportunity and leadership to go up. But she was talking about like store leadership, not district and regional and corporate leadership. And, you know, I almost had to have real talk with her. But yeah, because they'll have to pay me more because I finally have my degree and blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, I have the highest degree in this store. If you just waiting to graduate to get your little bachelor degree to make 30 cents more, sis, you need to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
I said, oh, girl, don't stop going to grad school to go. I said, you go to grad school to make this easier. You do both.
Exactly.
You don't stop. Then I had this moment where I had to stop and I had to break down to her. I ain't want to, but the conversation about 2 million surplus in 100 hours over. I said, do that make sense to you? She looked at me like, you know how people sometimes have moments and they looked at you like, bitch, you smarter than a fucking average bear. I ain't know.
Right.
And I had to pull back. I said, well, do what you like, though.
Yeah, but it's like, you know.
I said, I am here as I'm in the meantime.
Nigga.
Because I'm the last person that's going to get fired. That's why I'm here. So I can call off when I want. I can switch days when I want. That's why I'm here.
Naomi, let's call a spade a spade. You Kendrick Lamar and these niggas, and they just mumble rappers.
You said who?
You Kendrick Lamar and these niggas mumble rappers.
I said, you think I'm here because I strive to be an upper. I'm here because I'm here because I can be the card attendant at the front end. Come when I want.
So I think I really think that's the main thing is that when really come down to it, and when you start talking about mid-level management to,
and I still think store level management too low. And
like
ain't worth it.
Working retail, and working in these type of things, A is low as fuck, but B the bar is super low, and C ain't nobody trying to do that shit, and they already know it's like ain't nobody really getting the real money unless you the motherfucking boss.
Yeah.
The more the store manager in this bitch.
Yeah.
So
I would say more money compared to what? Because then I'm looking at the folks at the regional level. Now that I'm at mid-management, we be having these little visits from folks, and they just be coming in and talking about the shit they ain't did. And I want to be like, whoa there. Y'all niggas ain't probably worked in a store in years, so how the fuck you going to tell us which way is up and down? Your office is probably in your car. That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Like, you just coming in for an hour, that's not sufficient. Like, that's why Nyambi never going to be a store. Because I'm like, this is not... I need you to come here and be here for a weekend, not Monday. I need you to be here on the weekend and show me how this is effective and realistic. Period. How you do it? But what I know.
But it really just shows how the shit just rolls down, like it comes top down.
Yeah, absolutely.
They tell they do, and they tell. And
don't get me wrong, it's not a hard job. It ain't horrible. It's
just
one of them things that I'd be back in your head like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
But that's what it is. And they tell their minions what to do, and they tell the minions what to do, and they tell you what to do.
And then my minions ain't minions. I only got a fourth of a minion.
They look at you like, what you tell me to do?
They only speak English. They don't know what to do, honey. All they know is time for their half an hour. You hear me? Next, I travel a little bit later this week. I'm excited, but I'm just being neutral as possible. So, this is my first kind of job opportunity interview I'm taking, y'all. That's completely out my field. Wouldn't you say, Nira?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is completely out my field to the point where I didn't apply for this job. I applied for a job similar to what I was doing, and they reached out to me about another job opportunity.
Yeah, because you're quality.
Thank you, Nira.
You are, baby.
I'm feeling a little rough on myself this week. I don't know. So that's later this week, and I'm excited about it, and y'all keep me prayed up. Keep your chakras open for me. And
niggas with third eyes.
And let me know what's going on. But other than that, I think y'all can get from my update. I'm just feeling a little paralyzed. And I don't know what I'm paralyzed from. It's hard for me to even see what it is, right?
Right.
But I'm trying to figure it out.
I hear you, bro.
All right, Nira, what's going on with you?
So I guess I'll be going back to work this week.
Thank God.
But really don't mean much because, hell, I only work 3 days in the office. And so I'm still getting over this flu, and the nigga that had the flu for about a month and sick, and just take your ass out. But just trying to feel better, get better, and move through that stuff, and actually getting back into the office and doing some work and things of that sort. We went to go see Black Panther again, and as great as the movie was, I got the best nap of my life, and Naomi was hating.
The thing is not that he was just sleeping, y'all. I get sleeping in the theater. I know that's the best sleep. Nero can't just sleep. He got to snore. I said, okay. First of all, we went to see this in a white neighborhood, so it's disrespectful as hell that the only black people in the theater going to see it is snoring. Do you got to snore in the movie theater?
It's something
and
about
the movie theater echoes. And you got that sick snore. So it's like, oh, I'm like, Oh my God.
It's something about being in a cool, dark place.
Yeah.
Like the movie theater, that it don't matter what time it can be. It can be high noon and my ass can fall asleep.
It makes me sick.
And Nyambi be hating. Oh, hating ass Nyambi.
Oh my God. I be hitting him hard. I be elbowing the shit out of him in his side.
I just want to sit across the row and not even deal with your ass.
I elbow the hell out of him.
So we went to go see Black Panther again. So, you know.
It was good. You picked up anything the second round?
Well, one of the things is I seen like some of the behind the scenes stuff that
They like
Ryan Coogler was talking about. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when he was talking about like the scene and how like when the Dora Milaje fight, you know, there's always like the sound effect that happened and things of that sort. That was kind of sweet.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so whenever the fight was like, it's like a little troop, like troop.
Oh, like do.
Yeah.
All of those is a song.
No, so whenever they fight, that's the noise that
make?
that goes. No, they don't make, but it goes along with the, you know, sound bed.
Oh.
So, you know, those type of things that I picked up, and like how, you know, Nakia always wore green,
Always.
Black Panther always wore black.
I knew that.
You know, Okoye, I think it's her name, Okoye.
Yeah, Okoye.
She always wore red, and he's like, you know, how when you see them, they always aligned in the way of the Pan-African flag. I said, damn. Like, whenever you see them on screen, they always align for the Pan-African flag?
And y'all know I'm trying to do this blog, and we working on merchandise in the book. I'm not a creative. I wouldn't have picked up that at all. I'm like, what, niggas? Line up. This Nyambi. Line up. I love that intentionality of it.
Yeah. And, you know, like.
And I admire that about creative people.
How he was talking about Claw, and, you know, whenever you seen him, he was always wearing blue, and blue was like a symbol of, you know, colonization and shit like that. It's like, what? So,
I
you know,
like
it
to
was
just
that type
call
of stuff.
all white people colonizers now. It was also funny being in a white theater because all the lines ain't hit the same.
Mm-hmm. No.
Like, there's some stuff where it was explicitly hilarious. Mm-hmm. You could hear a pin drop in the theater.
Oh, like, what are those?
What are those? They're like, huh?
I don't get
and like after they showed them, people were like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
ha, his shoes.
Or when she was like, I'm tired of fixing up white boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Pin drop.
Another sad white boy I got to fix up. I was like, oh,
or
shit.
when she was like, oh, colonizer, pin drop.
Oh, colonizer.
But you know who made up for the laugh in the theater?
Who?
Nyambi. You thought I was a laugh track. You thought I was a laugh track.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, you know, doing that and just, you know, I'm on this fitness journey and things of that sort as well. And, you know, pretty much having the flu the whole month has took me out the game. And I got my first race in about 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Actually 7. So it's about 7 weeks. So, you know, actually getting back into that, getting back into race shape and exercising, riding my bike and things of that sort. And, you know, I got a lot of big things going along with that I'm pretty excited with as well. And just getting back to normal. Like, February was a rough ass month. Like, so long February, so long Desi. Good riddance.
I think he know he going, y'all.
Oh.
He keep looking at us.
Oh.
Y'all hear all this noise Desi making in the background?
I don't know if they can hear it, but we'll see. Because his ass is over here. What the fuck are you doing? Banging on his damn
his
water
dish.
tray?
Yeah, he thirsty again. He ain't getting no more water.
Nigga get no more water until later on.
It's time to go out.
Shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some pillow talk.
The first thing I want to talk about is pillow talk. Did y'all see this motherfucking toasting diversity with chocolate milk?
What?
Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner stood before Chicago crowd Wednesday and took a large gulp of chocolate milk as a symbol of corporate diversity and declared, "It's really, really good," the Republican said, putting his arm around Tyrone Stoudemire, the Hyatt Hotel executive, which is a nigga. I'm thinking he the chief overseer. I don't know. He then lifts his pint glass in the air and added, "Diversity."
It does a body good.
No, he ain't saying that shit. The Chicago Tribune reported that the first time governor was ending a demonstration about diversity at Black History Month at an event in Chicago Thomas Center. Stoudemire, Tyrone, Hyatt's vice president of global diversity and inclusion, brought the governor on stage to perform the Chocolate Milk Show, which Stoudemire had done for almost 2 decades as a way to shed a light on the dearth of diversity in corporate America.
Diversity is not chocolate milk.
This is stupid. So this is how the demonstration works. So Tyrone, I ain't calling him Starter, I'm calling him Tyrone. Okay. Tyrone, holding a pint of glass, told the crowd it represented the Fortune 500 companies. Pouring into the glass, he explained the milk was the white male heavy leadership teams of the companies. The Hershey chocolate syrup, he added, was diversity. The governor, now holding the pint glass of plain white milk, watched as Stoudemire poured the chocolate syrup. Stoudemire, the Tribune video shows, and they got this nigga on video, Jesus, explains companies that are diverse, but the diversity sits at the bottom of the corporate structure. Then came to the teaching moment. You don't get inclusion till you actually stir it up, says Stoudemire, instructing the governor to stir the milk as the crowd cheered. Just before the governor took his gulp, Stoudemire put a bow on the presentation and says diversity is the midst of inclusion and making the midst worse, he said, and it actually tastes pretty good.
Diversity.
First of all, can we go back how this nigga was able to do this same shit for how many years? 20 years?
What?
This is the first time this white man did it, but didn't they just say that this Tyrone been doing this for 2 years or decades?
It sounds like a Tyrone move.
It says, which Stoudemire done for almost 2 decades as a way to shed light on the dearth of diversity in corporate America. Well, shit, it ain't been working.
Maybe she tried strawberry milk. No strawberry milk.
Why this white man thought comfortable to do it this year?
Milk, y'all.
No, this food, it tastes good. If I was a white man, I would have been like, I'll just stand behind you. What you think about this? So twofold. Why Tyrone ass think this is a good example of what I get what he's saying, but I think that even goes back to my higher ed background. That's like when they be doing like little diversity events and they be like, we having an ice cream social, the vanilla's for the white people, chocolates for the niggas, strawberry for everybody in between, the sprinkles is for gay people. Like, it's just too much. The nuts is for the folks who mentally I don't know.
Oh. The nuts is for the niggas who ticky boom boom. The fuck out of here.
But that's basically what it be like.
I hate shit like that. Donuts and discussion, soup and substance.
It's all stupid.
What's the other one?
I just go for the free food.
Coffee and kafifi. I don't know.
What? Coffee and confessions.
It was coffee and conversation.
Yeah.
I hate all that stupid shit. That shit don't work.
No, it don't.
Action.
Although I do think conversations do help, but in this way, these symbolic.
Even though I do like
actions,
a good donut.
I like eating.
But this shit doesn't work. We need action. We need change. We need...
No more sympathies, thoughts, Twitter posts, action, policy change.
Thank you very much. Next.
No, that's all you have to say about that?
That's all.
So, Tyrone, I'm watching your ass, Chief Overseer. Been doing this for two decades. Ain't got no new shit. And then the stupid-ass governor, Bruce Rauner, he think he doing some good shit. And he done brung his dumb ass on up here and did it. What was he thinking?
You know what he was thinking. Well-intended white folk.
Yeah, I think it was.
I can support my diversity by not doing anything but drinking some chocolate milk.
And close it, and then using this to close on the Black history. Instead of creating a new policy, what's some things Donald Trump be doing when he be signing his name on them papers? What's it called?
I don't know.
Injunctions and shit. Like, instead of him doing something like that to say, Diversity Business Day, or like something. If you're going to do something symbolic, right? As a governor, do something like that to show I want to back it up. You drinking chocolate milk and cheersing with this nigga on the TV. Nesquik and shit. The fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Go ahead now.
So I guess the next thing on the docket is this whole NRA, boycott NRA thing on Twitter. Have you seen it?
A little bit.
So niggas is going crazy. But I guess when it was all said and done, somewhere around 30 people, not 30 businesses dropped their support from NRA, something like that. Good. And it really so Best Western, Delta.
I didn't realize United, NRA had so many people.
NRA having an NRA membership is like having a AAA membership. Like everybody just get a discount.
I didn't know that.
Me either.
Yeah.
So Best Western, Delta, Wyndham Hotels, Alamo, National, Hertz, Enterprise, Avis, True Car, Budget, First Bank of Omaha, MetLife. It's just it's just a few of them. It has separated ties. And be like, no, we ain't giving y'all niggas no more discounts.
Good.
So it really just brought up this whole thing of because you see this whole thought of well, fuck it then. We're just going to go try to get other businesses and, fuck y'all for thinking this. And then like NRA put like this whole thing is that, pretty much blaming everybody.
Yeah, except who they
law enforcement, mental instability,
yeah,
and everything else versus like these guns. And like I'm gonna be straight up, like I'm a gun owner.
Yeah.
I own a gun. I've had CPL training and all that other bullshit. But let's call a spade a spade. This whole thing about arming teachers and shit to prevent.
It's crazy.
So you gonna put more guns out there to prevent more shooting? The shit just don't make sense. So you saying that you got a nigga with an AR-15 that done bumped the stock. So now the motherfucker shoot like it's a real motherfucking machine gun. Somebody with a Glock 19, which is a 9mm gun, or a 40 cal, it's gonna stop a nigga that's shooting with a extended mag, 30 clip, and your ass only got 12 to 15 shots.
I don't know.
The fuck out of here.
I don't know who okie doke they trying to run this shirt on.
And then you got the other stuff. You got people flipping on the police, like the nigga was scared. The deputies or whatever didn't come up in there until afterwards. All the shooting was done. Well, shit, my ass ain't going up in there either. I don't give a fuck. That nigga got a machine gun.
A machine gun. You ain't gonna
That's
win.
like coming in this bitch with a knife with a gunfight.
Yeah, you ain't gonna win.
So I really see. I'm really liking the resolution these young kids is taking.
What the kids saying?
Because the kids out there, they ass have been at town halls. They ass
them
marching
kids ain't
on Washington.
playing. Them kids ain't playing.
They ain't playing.
And the kids shouldn't have to did it, but do what you got to do.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting because like the kids is acting like adults and the adults are acting like fucking kids.
Yeah.
You want to take my guns away?
Yeah.
And then I think the main thing is that nobody's talking about handguns. Like nobody's telling you to like, no, you can't have no handgun. But if, a weapon, a motherfucking AR-15.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
What you doing with that? You ain't hunting no fucking deer with an AR-15.
Yeah. What type of deer you doing?
You ain't shooting no pheasants with no AR-15.
Yeah.
So it's like that type of shit that's really just pissing me off when it comes to like this whole NRA shit.
Yeah.
And I got a. When I used to do Toastmasters, one of the guys, he's like a real big, gun enthusiast,
First one I'm reporting or something.
He is the first motherfucker I keep an eye on. But like just listening to his ass, like I just had to unfriend his ass just on the fact that I can't. Like
he was going crazy.
The thing is first of all, he's a NRA like gun license instructor. Mm-hmm. He is a teacher. He's like a music teacher and some other stuff. He's like, well, if they came to my school, I was going to kill them.
No,
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, you might have got one off, but it wasn't gonna go down, honey.
That's the thing. Like I don't see the strategy here. So you got a motherfucker that's shooting this rampage, just spraying bullets, brow, and your single bullet is gonna stop that nigga.
Yeah, and if
like,
so,
what are the chances of that really happening?
And if so, you in the wrong field. You need to be a sniper. You need to work for the Army. You need to work for the U.S. SEALs, honey. If you that clean, honey.
Don't make no sense.
If you can get a shot that clean, you in the wrong profession. Yeah. Okay.
So like, I don't know. That stuff is just pissing me off.
Well, you know how white folks, they've never been challenged like this, right? Mm-hmm. They don't understand what this means.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's even scarier, but I'm glad that they can see it now because this is how they've been treating people of color and underserved populations, right? Mm-hmm. So if this is how they treat like the children, their own children.
Exactly. And
we ain't talking about black schools. Mind you, black schools have been getting shot up.
And like,
do you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go there, right? But
and then this whole conversation of, we should arm teachers.
Stupid.
What about Philando?
Yep.
Teacher.
Yep.
Had a CPL license.
Yeah. Oh no, they don't know.
Where was the outcry?
They just want to say enough to defer, distract, and get on to the next
thing is, truthfully, in the area, it's not for black people anymore.
Absolutely not.
Because I remember when they signed that bill when the Black Panthers was out there trying to earn themselves, and they were trying to sign that bill like, nobody needs to have these assault rifles out there.
Yeah.
So when niggas got the shit,
when niggas got assault rifles,
it's a problem.
Come on. I don't know. NRA never sat right with me. White people with them guns never sat right with me. Like, it's just because it's white boys who's doing it, right? It's their own kind. So they have to come up against their own kind and say, yes, this is the problem. And if they say they the problem, that means they're truly the problem. You got to look at yourself.
And that's the thing. Like, I get it. I like to go to the gun range and shoot at paper targets.
Yeah.
And sometimes think it was my boss or somebody who did me wrong. But
I mean, the difference is you don't go act on it. It's motherfuckers acting on it.
So, like, I get it.
Yeah.
When you have a gun in your hand, you feel powerful or shit. Yeah. You hear that clock and you be like, hell yeah, I can do something. I can destroy some shit. I get it. But
kids is
at what point do you give up the feeling of trying to feel strong and, masculine and all this other shit in order to stop and prevent kids from dying?
Yeah. And then, the big question is, why is that tied to masculinity?
Because masculinity is just so fragile these days.
Yeah, and that's what you need something. That's just like the men with them big ass trucks. Oh my God! Every time I see them, what do I say now? What are they called? They're like F550s.
Yeah, F450s or F350s.
They're huge,
big ass diesel.
Like
joints.
They barely fit in the parking spot. And I'm not saying these trucks aren't for the people who like do things that involve it.
Like farmers and shit.
So if you're a farmer, landscaping, plow things, drag things, all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. That makes cleaning company. All that makes sense. But if you a teacher,
what you doing at F350?
Where are you going? And it don't fit in the parking spot, right? Uh-huh. Like what are you doing? You a car attendant, like where are you going? All that shit tied to it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But yeah, y'all stay woke about it, and hopefully something. I'm still not 100% sure something gonna come from it though. I think it's gonna be another shooting. Have the white women outcried yet? That's when the last shoe drops. When there's an outcry from white women, preferably white gay women. What? Mm-hmm. When that happens, it'll be something. Until then, good luck. Anywho, taking shit personal.
Okay.
I read this article and I thought it was interesting. Kind of, y'all know where I was talking about in my check-in of, just processing things and feeling paralyzed. And through the journaling that I do, I realized that I take a lot of stuff personally, right? Mm-hmm. And I learned that that's not always the best thing to do. In some instances you have to take it personally to be able to process it, but sometimes you really have to be able to discontinue that. But I found this article that basically was 10 ways to stop taking things personal. So, when other people wronged you, you take their actions personal. It can feel as if you've been kind of punched in the gut, but, really working through that. You up for that, Nero?
Yeah, let's do that.
The first one, it says, know your inherent self-worth. Mm-hmm. So the first way to stop, taking things personal is to, one, know your inherent worth. If you know yourself and your worth as a person, you won't be so quickly to take the judgment of others so personally. Take the time to know yourself apart from whom others say you are. I know that was the first one, but Niram, what do you think about this taking things personal? Do you take things personal, or how do you not do it, or how do you work through that?
I think with my attitude and the things that I've been through all my life, that I take a lot of things not personally.
Yeah.
And and I think sometimes it's to a detriment, but I always think the worst of people, and I always gonna feel.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I always think the worst of people.
Yeah.
I always think the worst of people, and like I said, I always think about dying. So when it's all said and done, hell, I could be dead.
Yeah. And it's not worth it.
So
and I think I'm the opposite, because I feel like I feel everything deeply, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I feel everything deeply, and even if it has nothing to do with me, I still feel it. And if people say or do things badly about me, I'm connecting to all of that. Mm-hmm. So it's so hard for me to disconnect from that.
Yeah.
From it. But knowing your true inherent self, the first one, I think that's the first one, right? Mm-hmm. Next, huge, knowing your emotional triggers. So all of us have emotional triggers from the past. Certain actions people take may trigger us to become sensitive about particular things. This one has, for example, if your father was overly critical of you and you tried to be perfect to please him, someone pointed out that you made a mistake could trigger you to feel more sensitive than others person might under the same circumstances. When you do get upset about a situation, you have to ask yourself, am I really upset about the situation, or is this one of my emotional triggers? What do you think about it? You have emotional triggers?
Yeah, I think I might have a few.
What are they?
I don't know if I want to put it out there to the world. I
was going to see if Daryl's going to do it.
I'm not going to be having niggas out here triggering me like that.
Just trying to trigger you. Mm-mm. That's the good thing.
And the next thing you know, they get these blocked hands.
Get these blocked. What do you have overall topics that you emotionally triggered by? Like, are you ever triggered by like? So you into weight loss and exercise when folks talk crazy about that or no?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mostly
We'll do
triggered.
low level triggers.
I think low level triggers for me is like bullies. I can't stand a fucking bully.
Really?
Yeah, and I think something like that triggers me, and I tend to go hard
For bullies.
for the nigga who getting bullied.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's a pretty low level one I can give out there to the world.
I got emotional triggers when folks try. I think this goes back to caring too much. When people just be like, "Oh, what? That don't matter," right? Or like when people do really impersonal things. So something that someone should call and tell you, and then they'll send a text message. Or they send an email. Like, I see that as the coward's way out, right? Yeah. If there's something that you need to tell me important, or you know what I'm saying, and we're supposed to have this level of friendship, and you too scared to call me, that is such a trigger to me. That I'm like, well, what's going on? What does that look like? And I don't know why that makes me upset. I hate when people, and I think in the text and cell phone era, it makes it easier for folks to kind of cop out and just send that.
Yeah, and send that text or email or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that just triggers me so bad when it's like, why can't y'all have enough balls to pick up the phone and have a conversation?
Right.
Because they know they can't. I don't know. There I go.
And they're afraid.
What they afraid of? You think they're afraid?
Yeah, I think they might be afraid of your response. I don't think they'd be afraid of the actual. I won't say consequence, but the actual conversation. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt their feelings or, whatever.
Yeah. Good. The next one is practice authenticity. So this practice is of letting go of thinking you need to be someone else's and actually embracing who you are. You must truly accept who you are and what you really are in order to be authentically you. You practice authenticity by doing what's best for you, putting yourself first, and really understanding what's good for you. I always have a problem balancing that and practicing empathy. How do you do both? Because I think a lot of times niggas using I'm doing self-care and being authentic just to be bad people. What? I'm sorry. Look, I wasn't paralyzed there, wasn't I? I think people use self-care and practicing authenticity just to be bad people sometimes. You don't think? You're a bad person. And kindness is free. Like, I don't know how many times I tell people, being kind to people is free.
And I think that's the more or less thing. Like, maybe they are a bad person.
Or the behavior. Maybe we can't call people bad. I'm not the Lord. I can't tell who people are. But the behavior is bad.
Yeah.
And don't use I'm being 100. Or her people be like, oh, I just can't hold my tongue. I just can't be fake. I mean, shit, you can't be polite either.
You can't say it a different way.
Like, you don't have, you ain't had no home training for your mammy to be polite either. Like, that didn't work. But then so you say that to them. I'm just being 100. No, you're just being rude. Like, it's the 100 versus rude culture.
Yeah. But I also think, but it does make sense, like, putting yourself first.
I'm not saying not to, but you don't think it's a way to put yourself first without being trash?
I think I do a good job at it.
Triggered.
Oh, are you?
No,
that's another trigger.
No, I'm not triggered by you, but I think I am practiced when people say they being authentically, though. And I be like, authentic don't mean being rude.
But I also think you might have a problem with that because I think you find yourself hard to be authentically yourself.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh.
How do I have that?
I don't know. I just feel like that sometimes. I feel like you can be authentically yourself. So when you see other people do it, you be like, oh.
I think to be a black educated woman in America, navigating both black culture, where you came from and where you going, right? In corporate America, I don't think you can be 100% you at all times. No, I don't think that's feasible. I think it's like when people be like, I want balance. I don't know if you can have it, but not at the same time. I don't think that's feasible.
Okay.
But you do. Everybody can't be Ryan Coogler.
That's my goal, to find my inner Ryan Coogler.
How he be?
That nigga be like, so yeah, man.
Never code switches. But that's also a privilege he has as a man. Black
Adore Massage, they be like, troop, 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 troop. So when you see him on screen, that's all you're going to be hearing in the background. Troop, 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 troop.
But I think it's also,
like,
sorry, I cut you off. I'm being paralyzed this week. It's a privilege that you all have as black men.
Yeah.
It's privileges as black men that y'all can do as black women we're not allowed to do. Ava DuVernay can never come on that screen and be talking about A Wrinkle in Time. First of all, I don't know why we're not as geeked about A Wrinkle in Time as we are about Black Panther. I will be seeing A Wrinkle in Time too. I almost want to just buy the tickets early just to be respectful. Mm-hmm. But Ava can't come on the screen and be like, yeah, I had Oprah and Mindy Kaling as them witches. And whenever them witches came on, they'd be like, ba-ding, 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 bitch. People would look at Ava like, what?
Yeah, they would.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this double standard, I think, when it comes to black women and black men in any field. Even I think about, I said I'm going to talk about no more, with Monique and Charlamagne the God, they interview on the Breakfast Club. Like, Charlamagne the God, he kept talking about, well, Monique, you can get to this point once you make as much money as Dave Chappelle and so-and-so. Then Monique was like, well, whoever done that? He was like, well, whenever a woman does it, she can get it. But does he realize there's systematic structures in place that's not even an option for a woman? Mm-hmm. Like, this is not the same fucking playing ground.
It's not.
So shit has to be recalibrated because Monique or any black woman would never have that privilege to get what David Chappelle and Chris Rock has, right? We're already starting 10 steps behind. And it's like, I don't know why he didn't connect to that. But, okay.
I don't want to get on the side.
I don't want to talk about that either. All that from authenticity. Mm-hmm. Next ones, makes mistakes. So as the saying goes, to become our best selves, we must first have to be our worst selves. Allow yourself to make mistakes and understand that they're just part of the map leading you to the person you always wished you could be. When you do make a misstep, don't forget to forgive yourself. It's important to take responsibility for your actions, but don't punish yourself too much if someone disapproves of you. Accept that you aren't perfect and remember that there's really no such thing as making mistakes if you learn from them. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one.
Yeah, because Nightmare said, I'm tired of learning new things.
I ain't say I'm tired.
Yes, you did.
I just need a little break.
I don't want to learn nothing new.
Just a break for a few months. Just a break from a few months. Mm-hmm. How do you strive in making mistakes, Mira?
I think mistakes are inevitable.
Inevitable?
Yeah, inevitable. Oh. Mm-hmm. And I think I do this a little bit better than you. And I think this comes from like me being a serial hobbyist, that, since I'm always picking up something new, new hobby, new sport, new whatever, that I'm always making mistakes along the line, that I just know it's not going to be perfect. So I just try to take everything in stride in everything that I do, because I know that mistakes is going to come and mistakes are going to happen even when you think you got it all together, right?
Yeah.
So like, I even think about this dog situation. Like, I knew mistakes was going to happen. Like, I knew, eventually this nigga's going to piss in the house or shit in the house or whatever. Like, I knew eventually, at least once, it was going to happen, because that's what dogs do. They shit and piss places. And when you expect them, I just think it don't, like, the sting don't be as hard because you're already expecting those things to happen. Like, oh, I expect this to happen. Like, I expect this not to go all the way together or perfectly, because there's mistakes that's going to happen. Yeah. I even think for like this podcast, I feel like mistakes is going to happen. And, I knew there was going to be times that we wouldn't be able to do a podcast 3 days a week just because, people get sick. We got to travel and things of that sort. But we try our best to do what we can. And I think that's more or less.
You think I'm a little opposite than that?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you punish yourself a lot when like mistakes happen, because you have this, and maybe this goes back to sexism in the world, is that, you have to have like this perfect image or this perfect, like everything has to go without a hitch with you. Mm-hmm. Like regardless of what it is. And I even think about like the first time we missed the episode. Yeah. And I can't remember what it was, but you bit yourself up like so bad. Like, I hope they just don't stop listening because we didn't have one episode and things of that sort. Like, and I was like, okay. Them niggas don't come back because we missed one episode. Niggas wasn't true listeners anyway.
Toot, toot, toot. It was the Melage.
Troop, 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 troop.
Can we add that to our intro? Oh my goodness!
But I think it's those type of things, and I really think it's just the way you wired. Like you really try to strive for perfection versus excellence, and I really think you need to strive for excellence versus perfection. Yeah, because perfection is something that we're never going to get.
Yeah, it's not reasonable.
But at least excellence is something that you can. Like, I gave my all to it.
You can show that, right? You can quantify excellence, right?
Yeah.
The next one is setting boundaries. So setting proper boundaries in the what's wrong there?
This nigga's trying to dig a hole in my carpet.
Oh. So set boundaries. So setting proper boundaries in your relationship will help you take things less personally. You put these boundaries in place to say no to work here, love, or activities that you don't want to or that harm you emotionally. Doing too much to please others can lead you to feel overly sensitive when they're doing something that upsets you. Well, y'all know I'm huge on boundaries, and I'm getting better and better at boundaries. I know that was something I'm really working on. Like I got to the point of boundaries now where folks even know, like, oh, okay, if I don't answer this, I'm okay now. Like, I'm really working on setting on boundaries, especially with family.
Yeah, because like I said, we're total opposites. So when we first met, like, you was totally unboundary, and I was very boundary. Like, this is my space. These are my friends that I go to the gym with. These are my movie friends. These are my study friends, and they don't interact
at all.
At all.
And then I was, here's
everybody.
Yeah.
And then get upset, and then goes back to the thing that they get upset. Well, why they can't all get along?
Yeah.
So I really think setting real boundaries, whether it's for work, love, and everything else,
all
is
of
something.
Them need
like
it,
everything needs a boundary, and I think that's one of the things that, like for you, like that's your default to be unboundary.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we kind of bump heads about a little bit.
Yeah.
About boundary versus unboundariness, and what's the happy medium.
I would love to operate and being unboundary. Like, I love that idea of things just being fluid and being intertwining. Like, I would love to work in that space where work and personal, all that can just be intertwined and meant together. Like, I think I personally do my best work, and I think I give my best self in that situation, but that's not always feasible to do. And it's hard to separate it, right?
It is.
It's very hard for me to separate it, because if I commit to something, I commit to it, right? And I'm invested, and not only commit, but I'm invested in it holistically, and really learning how to separate out that holistic caring is hard sometimes, right?
It is.
The next one is letting it go. So Frozen. So use a painful experience from your past to help you make who you are. Use it to give you strength, empathy, and character. We all have something that hurt us. Don't let us define who you are. Instead, use it to get stronger and to make yourself proud. That's a huge one. I think that's a skill you got to work all the time.
Absolutely. Very absolutely. Like, when I even read this, I thought about, like, how you're talking about, like, use a painful experience to make you like who you are and things of that sort. So, and I really thought about this. So, my brother had committed suicide when I was 10, right? In 1996. So that's why I ain't got no joy. But one of the things is, like, growing up and him being, like, a lot older than I was. So, me 10 and he like 20 something, and think about all of my family members, or like my brothers and sisters, they're all on my mother's side, years older than me. Yeah, so like, growing up, like, he was hard on me, like the hardest big brother ever. Yeah. And like, it was a tyrant. Yeah. To the point, like, I remember being like, I hate you, wish you was dead. Yeah. I remember when the day of the mixtape came out, and I had like this karaoke thing, and I can't freestyle. And I remember being like, you killed my brother, but I don't even care because I ain't like that nigga anyway. Yeah. And like, have that be the time where this nigga committed suicide. Yeah. And being like, was that something that I did?
Like, you manifested that.
Did I manifest that? And being like, all those times I'd be like, just being like, I hate you, I wish you was dead. Yeah. Just because he was an asshole brother, or just because he was hard on me. Yeah. And moving on from that, yeah.
Well, you know what the T'Chaka say? A man who prepare his son for his death ain't. Ooh, come on, you gonna make me preach? Come on, it was a reason. He was hard on you, right?
Yeah. So and I really think that it's those type of situations that where, like, I learned from an early age, like from the age of 10, that when you speak things into existence, be very careful of what you speak of.
Your tongue is very powerful.
Because you don't know what will happen from that. So I think that's a lot of, and it took me a long time to let that go. Yes. But I learned a lot from that. And that's why when I speak, like, and I spoke. Yeah. Versus just to be talking. Versus talking.
You speak, you don't talk. Yeah. Because a lot of folks just to be here, they self talking, honey.
Absolutely.
Come on, Naomi, you hit me to the core with that one. The next one is know that kindness isn't a path to acceptance. So it says, we tend to expect that if we're nice and kind to everyone, giving all of ourselves to them, we should be treated the same way back. But being kind to others doesn't always buy their acceptance and approval. We better serve others in ourselves if we do things because we want to, not because we expect something in return.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this, that altruism.
Yeah.
So if I do this, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people oh, such and such did that to me. Even though I did all these things for them.
Yeah.
Like I did so much for such and such.
Yeah.
And being like, and knowing that don't nobody owe you shit, no matter what you did for them or how
that's a hard
favorable
yep.
you were to them.
Yep.
That does not mean anything in return from them.
Yeah. They owe you nothing.
They owe you a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's very hard in the black community or just in the community itself because you're like, I did so much for that person. I spoke up for them. I put my job on the line. I did X, Y, and Z. And they can't.
And they sent the text.
And they can't, and they can't look out for me or they can't return that.
Yeah. Same.
Good faith in return.
Yeah, they can't. Their action isn't matched, right?
Yeah.
Their behaviors, their actions, their feelings isn't matched. I mean, and that's a lot of things unpacking with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So knowing, you can't give gallon love to pint people.
Yeah.
You have to know what type of folks you're working with too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being very aware of that. And knowing and I think that's also going back to self-care first, right? So knowing what you're willing to give, that won't be too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say folks who always give too much in the end, I don't think they know. I don't think folks on their deathbed ever like, man, I wish I didn't give that.
Mm-hmm.
I do, however, think it's the opposite. I do think motherfuckers be on their deathbed and be like, damn.
Yeah.
I ain't did, because you about to go do what you about to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And meet your maker. And whoever you think your maker is and whatever rubric he keeping, you start adding up shit and you asking for extra credit.
And I think that's the thing.
And that's something else you got to handle, right?
Absolutely. But I think, that's something that we need to do more as a people is that no matter what we do in positivity or whatever, that person that we did it to don't owe us shit.
Yeah, it's not for that.
And they don't have to accept us. They don't have to do anything. They don't owe us a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I think when I do nice stuff for nice people, I remember folks even back in my previous, they be like, man, you really did this? You did that? I said, yes, I got to do that for my people. I said, that's just who I am. Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't even about that person. Yeah. That's about me, right? Me doing this was about me. Not about them or whatever it was. It's about me, my purpose, my maker, my endpoint. What I say my purpose is for my goal. When I go meet my maker, when he say, Nyambi, why you do this? I can say X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. That's why I did it. Not because Keisha better have my back in 2 months. No, because I see myself playing a greater picture and role in it, right? I do believe that, as Niram say, the grand architect put certain people in certain folks' lives to open doors, windows, shades, and cracks, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes your job is just to help that person navigate through, right? With the expectation that nothing in return. But know that someone is doing something for you and you ultimately might not return that in the end, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's the same with relationship. You preparing for somebody forever. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all pieces in this puzzle helping each other out. So even if it's not a direct one-to-one, how do you say? Like, exchange down the line, somebody is doing something for you that you've done nothing for them, that you haven't done anything and you won't do anything for them, right? It's just their path and the purpose that they're on right now. So that's why I'm always so big about kindness and playing it forward and helping other folks out, because if we don't do these things, how we gonna get ahead? Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying for every single situation, but shit, can we do it 2 out of the 5? 1 out of the 5. Mm-hmm. Out of every 5, can you just do one thing out of kindness? And these kindness things, a lot of times, it's just you using your mouth. Like, you're not even... Right. Don't get me going. And then lastly, is be logical. So when someone upsets you or makes you feel uncomfortable, it's helpful to take a look at the situation from a more logical perspective. Did the situation call for the reaction you had, or were you losing it unnecessarily? Is the other person really doing something wrong, or are they taking the situation too personally? If someone is truly being hurtful, can you ask what you need to work through and letting it go? Mm-hmm. The logical part, that's hard for me. It's not, I shouldn't say it's hard for me, but I think logical, when folks be like, well, you got to think logically about this, I think that's another time for people to be like, well, we got to take emotion and we got to take people and human experience out of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you do that when we're all human. Right. Where people be like, well, this is what this and this says. Oh, but when it be different folks of a different skin hue, shit can be changed.
Right. Shit can be different.
Right? And I think I do get upset about my people sometimes when we don't take a firmer stance. So I know working in higher ed, even corporate American, the black folks that I've worked with is quick to say, well, this is the books and this is how we're supposed to do.
This is the way it was.
Niggas can quote the book that the master wrote for them so quickly, right? And I done been in meetings with the white people and they flip a rule and change it and say maybe so in this instance, right?
Yeah.
But when it come to niggas in the room, they know the books and the protocol and they know the fucking Constitution better than you.
Right.
And be ready to take another nigga down. But Nyambi be the first one to be like, I remember the situation where Chad, I think it was Chad. We changed the rule for Chad. Since we changed it for Chad, can we change it for Keisha? You know. So I think that's what I battle with being logical, because I think logical is whoever's the
rule maker.
The rule maker, right?
Who has the power?
Yeah, whoever has the power has the logic, and that's bullshit. But I'm working, y'all. I'm trying to work through. It's just I've been in rooms where it's like niggas be so scary.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stand up for something.
You got to.
And the thing is, I'm Killmonger. I'm not doing no new shit. I'm just doing what they doing.
Right.
I'm just saying the words they say and replacing it with my people. Well, we did it for Chad and can't do it for Keisha? Why? What's special about Chad? You know, in my head, I'm really saying, so he white? What?
Right.
That's what that means. So what's special about Chad that we can't change it for Keisha?
And also being like, well, if the rules were the word, my ass is still being changed.
You know, I always like saying when people talk about good years or things, I'm like, I want a good year for my people. Mm-mm. And they always look at me like, bitch. Want a good year for my people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if rules weren't Mr. Burke, I'd still be in bondage.
Right.
But aren't we glad I'm not? What? Too much Nero.
Back to being logical.
I do that. That's why it's hard for me. Because I think they make logical when you're not logical. They make it sound like you're crazy. Mm-hmm. And you're not crazy. This is white logic. Sorry. I still went off the base, didn't I? All right, Nero. That was really good. So this idea of not taking it personal, as y'all can see, Nyambi takes everything fucking personally.
She sure do.
And I'm working through it to get over it. Mm-hmm. The last thing is, did you have anything else about that before you went to Pillow Talk?
Niggas, stop taking shit personally.
Who, me?
No, just all niggas in general.
I don't know. I think I might be team take it personal.
Okay. Don't take it personal.
Nyambi's team take it personal. Which one is y'all? Team take it personal or you team Nero may take it personal? But how do you not? When it is?
I just don't.
You just do what?
I just don't take it personal.
Nero, everybody can't be great like you.
Well, baby, they can try though. They can strive. I'm just saying, like, with all the shit I've been through in my life, seeing niggas get killed over nigga looked at me wrong, talking to my girl, you selling dope on my block. I ain't got time to be trying to take shit personal, that shit I don't own.
Okay. You said it.
I can't kill another nigga for being on a block I don't even own because they selling dope to my people that I should be selling dope to. Okay. Both of y'all niggas infecting the community. I can't take that shit personal.
You can't fuck with them.
I can't.
All right, now.
So I think, after watching all this shit, like, like I said, like I used to, go speak to these boys and I'd be like, it's so hard it takes so much time and effort to act hard and be hard, and you got to take every shit so damn personally because he talking about me, and he said something about my family, and his family about nothing, and I can't do that, so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to kill that nigga. I ain't got time for that bullshit.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So, that's how I always put things in perspective.
Yeah, you don't have time for the bullshit.
I ain't got time for that bullshit.
I'm with you. All right, for Kitchen Table Talk, Russ' cuz to submit your questions, you can go to blacklovematters@gmail.com. Again, that's blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's black with no K. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. The email reads, "Hey, Nero and Nyambi, I love y'all podcasts. It's slowly but surely becoming my favorites. I have a random question. What are your thoughts on traveling with other couples? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? My boo and I have been invited to join a couple, and I'm excited but a little hesitant. Love to hear your thoughts."
You can't travel with everybody.
Yes.
What type of budgets are y'all on? Yes. Are y'all
who paying for it?
Right. Are y'all on the champagne budget?
Yeah.
Or are y'all on McDonald's budget?
I was going to say Kool-Aid.
Either way. Seltzer water. Could that make a totally difference?
Vacation, yeah.
That makes a totally different on experience of vacation because you be go out there depending on who you are and does that match up. Because it really will fuck it up. Because you thinking y'all about to have a champagne lifestyle, and this nigga on some Kool-Aid shit, it'll fuck you all up. Because you thinking you about to go to the French restaurant and get some duck and shit, and they talking about, nah, let's go to Burger King. Nigga, I done left the country. I done left the
I don't
state,
care if I left my fucking city. If I want something different.
Nigga, I done left my house.
Yeah.
I done left my house. And you talking about, and I done left my house, I done saved up my money, and you talking about, no, I want to go to Burger King. Nigga, stay your ass at home.
Yeah.
You fucking up my experience.
Yeah.
Nayambi.
Yes, I do believe you can't travel with everyone. I think always, I'm always internal. So have y'all been on a vacation together first? So I know Niram's talking about more the interactions with the couple, but how is y'all interactions with other folks? Because traveling can bring out the best and worst of people. I think whenever me and Niram travel,
we get in an argument.
I mean, by the first day, night, we're good, right? Or maybe the second day in, we're good. But that first day, we're going to argue.
About something.
Him being late.
Me holding the bags the way I hold the bag.
Something. Just doing real nigga shit things. Niram bringing pillows. And I like to travel light. And Niram like to bring his whole bedspread. And I was like, you leave that shit at home. The hotel has sheets.
The hotel does not have my custom-made pillow. I spent the $100 on.
Leave that shit where it's at. So I think first y'all need to make sure y'all cool with y'all traveling and you understand each other. Because even if you travel with other couples and it's not the best, y'all need to make sure y'all enjoy yourselves. Because ain't no worse than travel with other couple and they don't like to travel with themselves. Right? Right. Next, once you do it, so I think Niram hit on the head. You just have to know if you can travel with them. So if this is the first vacation y'all going on, I would make sure their coins are in order. So are y'all booking separately? Are y'all booking under one credit card? Like, is this a vacation you're okay with going if they all the stuff for some reason can't go and y'all still have to go? Are you okay with doing that? I will make that known. Money, like, dinner dates. So is this gonna be a thing where y'all go out to dinner? And, y'all have one bill and you split it equally, 4 ways or 2 ways, however you do it. But y'all only order main course and dessert, but they order everything like Niram Nayami and talking about let's split it equally. And they ain't got no equal pay. Are y'all the couples who be like, I get dinner, you get lunch. But whenever y'all go out to lunch, y'all eating salad. But at dinner, you eating Morton's. Like all that shit play into it. And also, do you have a couple like this group where they're okay with not seeing y'all for some hours?
That's one thing I was gonna get onto because like, are y'all the ones that y'all see each other? Are y'all with y'all like this is just a 4-way vacation y'all with each other from the time y'all wake up to the time y'all go to bed, or are y'all splitting things up? So y'all might go on an excursion, or they might go on an excursion. Y'all might stay at home, stay in the hotel, have sexy time, or y'all might just try to meet up.
Is the girls going together? The guys? Is they?
So all that takes into consideration.
And I think it needs to be explained before you go. And not saying you got to have a formal agenda, but a quick 30-minute. Like, y'all almost need to go to dinner before the vacation to establish the norms.
Right.
But I think it's beautiful. I think hanging out with couples is fun. You can do it, but you really have to have an expectation.
Yeah, you do.
And I will start with the weekend. A quick weekend, because you can do anything for 2 days, right?
Right.
And then get on, get out. But those are some of the questions I have. But I think it could be fun. Do we travel with other couples in there?
Yeah, we travel with a couple other couples.
What's your thoughts? Actually, how about you tell them how we travel?
Shit, I'm trying to remember, but we do a lot of things. We're that flexible couple. We the type of couples like we don't like to be up each other.
We can do Pizza Hut and McDonald's every day, but you just need to let us know.
And the thing is,
so I'm going in with that mindset.
And we also don't like to be all up other couples' asses and shit.
Yeah.
For everything. So we're usually the type of couples like, all right, so we'll meet up for lunch, or we'll meet up for every meal, and then we'll go out through, or we're the couple that say, oh, we're going to go such and such. Do y'all want to come?
Yeah.
And no, okay, we'll see y'all after the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're the type of couple that we'll plan our own shit, and then
we'll invite you.
If
we want you there.
We'll invite you if you want you there, but if not, we're just gonna go ahead and do our own thing. And then we'll meet up for lunch or dinner or something. Yeah. So
I think that's important to establish too. Because, I come on this vacation all this time. I want some alone time with my man, not just at night. And then lastly, knowing what type of couples you are. So are these early risers? And y'all the type like, oh, we sleeping at 1 p.m. and staying out to 4 a.m. And you got the other couples who like, we wake up at 5 a.m. All that needs to take in place of it.
Yeah.
But have fun.
Absolutely.
You should do it. It's just something. But then if you're cool enough, it should be, you should be able to have that anyway. But I think the biggest thing is budgets. So make sure budgets align. So budgets are in line. Usually everything else can be talked about.
Everything else can be. Yeah.
and work through. Or even if they kind of get funny, you can kind of do your own thing. But if budgets aren't in line, it ain't going to work.
Right, because that's the last thing to be on vacation. And somebody be like, hey, man, my check ain't dropped yet. Can you loan me a little something? Nigga, I got just enough money for me.
I got just enough money.
For me and my woman and our excursions. My check ain't dropped. So?
Why didn't get quiet? I guess y'all niggas in the hotel.
Well, I guess y'all eat McDonald's.
Yeah, you doing something from there. But so I think that's a good thing. But I don't want to defer. I think group travel is fun. Like I know one of the next vacations I'm going to do, I want to rent like a cabin.
Yeah, I know you do.
I want to rent a cabin in the Smokies where you like go buy all your food, you make food, hot tub, game night, movies. I really want to do that.
Okay.
Like me and you can do it, but I think that's something you need to do with a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
Let us know how it go though. It's either gonna be amazing or horrible, and it's okay to have horrible stories. We have any horrible group stories of traveling? It ain't just couples; it's just group stories.
I don't know. Nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
We really did a couple ones since like we did Vegas.
My 30th.
And that was and I think we gave folks so much space that it wasn't room for.
Plus, it's Vegas.
Yeah, it's not room for. Oh, this is trash.
Nah, if you was on like a Caribbean island.
Yeah, when they number do to get in the water and go out to dinner.
Your ass stuck at Sandals. And these niggas don't want to leave off the resort.
Yeah.
You trying to go in the country and get some goat.
Yeah.
Then that's a problem.
Yeah, Vegas wasn't bad. I think the biggest thing, it was a French restaurant. People were like, I don't know what to order. I don't know. Or, you had niggas last minute, we ain't going to come. I say, you know what? Look, you're from there. I should expect you wouldn't. But it wasn't enough to ruin the trip. Like we didn't have anything to. And I think that's why we picked Vegas. So folks can pick their own budget range. You can do what you want. You can eat for $1. You eat for $1,000. Whatever you want. Yeah.
All right. That was a good episode, baby.
It was a wonderful episode.
So as always, to submit a Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's black with no K. To leave a comment about anything that we talked about, go to our website, Black Love Matters, blacklovematters.com. We got that SoundCloud, and we also got that voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, love is ever evolving.
Peace.
Peace.